absolutely a pleasure to welcome everyone to Manchester Poetry Library. I'm Becky. I work here with Martin. I don't know if he's at the back there. Martin, just raise his hand. We work with Anjum and have the privilege of calling her our colleague at Manchester Met. And we're always planning this and that, and it involves poetry or dance and music. So we'll hear more from Anjum about what you're in store for tonight. But a welcome from me. We're a public poetry library. I recognise lots of faces. If you want to come and visit us and take books out, just go onto our website. You can become a member. And it's like an old-fashioned poetry library card will come through the post, and you can come in and take poetry books out. We also have lots of activities and events here. They're all free. The only ones that we have a little bit, sometimes we have a small amount, is with the Manchester Literature Festival, and all the proceeds go to the festival. So tonight, if you need toilets, just out where you came in, this main door of the Poetry Library and on the right. There's also a water fountain there, but we have some sparkling water at the back. If you, at any point during the readings, if you need a drink, just go to the back and Sumi and Abhijit and myself can help you. We have food at 7:15 from Zook and drink, so join us. You are going to be riding on a sea of words by then. So if anybody doesn't want their photograph taken, would you let just Abhijit know? Just raise your hand. We take photographs of events, so yeah, you have a lanyard. Yeah, so if you don't want your photograph taken, you can just wear a kind of a lanyard here, and we'll make sure you're not in photographs. It's really important for us sometimes to record our events to let people know what happens here. Otherwise, people assume poetry is this kind of traditional thing that is impenetrable. Like there are all these writers in ivory towers who never talk to each other, and it's such a community, oral tradition as well as a written tradition. We foreground the book here. But there's so much richness in Manchester's history and beyond of oral poetry. So Anjuman is a new Mushaira, an inclusive Mushaira created by Anjum. Anjum is a scriptwriter and performer and poet here, has been one of our Manchester City poets. And in collaboration with our South Asian student support at Manchester Met, we've drawn this event together. Thank you to Martin Kratz from the Manchester Poetry Library and also the Centre for Place Writing, which Anjum is a part, who really support our work at the Poetry Library and this event. So I'm going to pass on to Anjum, who's going to explain exactly what an Anjuman is in a different way, centering women's experiences, and we're going to understand why. So please put your hands together for Anjum Malik.
Thank you so much, Becky. That's amazing. Welcome, everyone. It's so nice to see you on such a sunny day for you to come in here. I really appreciate it. As you know, I'm Anjum. So I wanted to organize, I've been organizing Mushairas with a Difference for a while now, ever since I've been allowed onto the poetry scene. And it's really nice to be able to do it here. I wanted to have a theme, and I wanted the theme to be, well, I thought if it wasn't for women, nobody would be here on earth. Like, without women, there is no life. Women give birth. And so I wanted to celebrate women, but I wanted to celebrate women with all of us together, with men and women and other, all of us. And so I really appreciate you all being here and everybody being here. So I want to welcome you all. And I'm going to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing this evening. We're going to have, I'll read you a poem, and then I'm going to introduce SASS. SASS, it stands for South Asian Student Support. So I set up a support group for South Asian students and international students, basically all South Asian students in our university. And we've done a few really nice things together. They're amazing. And we're going to go on to do that. But they are part of organizing this Mushaira. And two of them are going to come on after me and read a couple of poems. They are PhD students doing some amazing poetry PhDs. So they're going to do that. And then Abhijit, one of them, is going to introduce the open mic people who are here tonight, which is amazing that you're all here to read. And then we're going to, after the first open mic, we have Shash Travet, who's one of our specially invited poets, who's going to read. And then we're going to have a very short break for about 5 minutes, so if you need a drink or a comfort break. And I'm hoping that the South Asians can keep to the time. I've got ladies here from Deeplish I worked with for many times. आपको English समझ आती है? हाँ, उर्दू में ज़रूरत हो तो बताना, अच्छा? तो आपको याद है, I used to go to them and sometimes they were late. I've been running workshops. I said, this is not PMT, this is not Pakistani mean time. Then they started turning up before me, and like one time I got stuck in traffic, I got told off. So yeah, 5 minutes, and then we're going to go back to open mic, and then we're going to have our two other specially invited poets. We're going to have Basir and Debjani, and I will introduce them as we go on. So that, I think, covers, oh yes, forgot the most important thing. Right at the end, we have food. Which is a very Mushaira thing. So before we begin, I think I need to do a quick training session as to how you must behave at a Mushaira. Now, I see a lot of South Asian faces, so I'm hoping that you will all help me. But anybody who's never been to a Mushaira here? Okay, we have quite a few. Excellent. So at a Mushaira, and forgive me if I get something wrong, we've got much more established poets than me here. But a Mushaira is really a very interactive thing between the audience and the poets. And so if you don't make noise, the poets don't feel loved. It's very opposite to Western style. And the way you make noise is you go wah wah, which means, so would you like to have a go? Maybe we can, the Asians can show how we say it. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, that's good. One more with all of you. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, that's beautiful. You are very...
I'm sorry, but you know I'm Bengali. And in Bengali, we say bah.
Bah?
We say bah.
You can say bah or wah, whatever you like. Oh, wah, bah. Yeah. And you know, there's also, like, if you like a poet's line, you can ask them to repeat it. And it's mukarrar, but you can just say repeat. But the trouble is, we are on a very Western style time frame. So that, you know, we've got a strict running order and we're already behind. So not too many mukarrars, please. But, you know, feel free to try that if you like. It's like, can you imagine? So just make a lot of noise. And I know that the Asians, I'm asking Asians who are used to Mushairas to go for it, to lead everybody. So, yeah, and I want to say, before I forget, I want to say thanks to everybody, to Place Writing Center, for they have supported us with funding. The Poetry Library and the team have been amazing. I've got the SASS students, Sumi and Abhijit, helping me. And of course, my colleagues in the writing school as well. So I'm going to begin, and what I want to do is, I just want to make sure I've covered everything. Yeah, so I'm going to begin with a poem. Now, I would like to dedicate this first one to my mom. Some of you might know that she is the love of my life. She is my muse. So I brought a book. She's in. So I worked with Bradford Libraries, and there was a wonderful person there called Dr. Sifat Alvi, and he got this book together. It's only in South Asian languages. Both Dr. Alvi and I believed there was no need to translate. If you couldn't understand, it was your problem. So I will not translate my mom's poem, but you can enjoy the language, mainly because it's not been translated, and also because we're up against time. But I spent years as a new poet refusing to translate my poem and getting invited back. And it was a political stance I took. So yeah, my mum had a shop in Bradford, and she used to stand writing on those brown paper bags and we'd find poems. And she was pretty good, and I persuaded her to go and let one of the poems go in this book, thank God. So, and feel free to wah-wah if you like. This is, her name is Tahira Imtiaz Malik, and this is called Bila Unwan, written in Bradford. एक बज़्म सजाए बैठे हैं मैं और मेरी तन्हाई, दुनिया को भुला बैठे हैं मैं और मेरी तन्हाई. शुक्रिया जी. आहट है उसके कदमों की, ये सदा टूटे पत्तों की, ये पूछते हैं एक दूजे से मैं और मेरी तन्हाई. शुक्रिया जी. सब रिश्ते नाते टूट गए, सब बंधन पल में टूट गए, और डूब गए हैं इश्क अश्कों में मैं और मेरी तन्हाई. कोई आस नहीं तेरे आने की, ये जिद है दिल दीवाने की. एक शुक्रिया जी. एक शमा जलाए बैठे हैं मैं और मेरी तन्हाई. एक बज़्म सजाए बैठे हैं मैं और मेरी तन्हाई, दुनिया को भुला बैठे हैं मैं और मेरी तन्हाई. शुक्रिया जी. Shukriya, thank you. Thank you. My dad passed away very young at 45. She was 43. So this is about missing my dad. Thank you. So I'd like to welcome Abhijit and Sumi next, please. I don't know where they are. Have they disappeared? Come on down. So they're going to read a poem each and tell you a little bit about SASS. Thank you, guys.
Hello, I'm Sumi and a part of SASS. So if you are SASS, it's whatever the students make it. And we've had informal meetings where we just sit and complain about everyone who is in our lives. We've had podcast recordings, we had poetry readings, we are also planning films. So if you have an idea, if you're South Asian, come and tell us your idea. We'll see if we can make it happen. Right. Do you want to add anything? Right. So I'm going to read, I'm first going to read a Tamil poem written by Pandithar Kanapati Pillai Satchidanandan. He is a poet from my father's hometown in Point Pedro, Sri Lanka. Is there anyone who understands Tamil here? Amazing. Oh, well. We don't have a name for Mushairas. We have a name called Arangetam, which is when you finish a poetic work, you're supposed to go to the king, ask for an appointment, sit down and read it to the king. So
We have words, not necessarily exactly like a Mushaira, but for a gathering, a get-together of poets.
right.
And, in English we would say a reading, a poetry get-together. So similar words, yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But not this interactive sort of shouting out. Yeah, you could we could do. I was just thinking, that's the only thing.
Ayo sounds good. So in Bengali we have Kobi Shommelan, and in Hindi it's Kavi Sammelan.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Actually, Mushaira is now such a popular word. People understand that really. All over.
Right. So if you don't understand any of what I'm reading, feel free to clap along or snap along or turn around and look away. கடவுளின் பதில் பூக்கள் கொண்டு நின் பொன்னடி போற்றியே பூமி தாழ்ந்து நின் தன்முகத் தாமரை நோக்கியே இரு கண்களின் நீர் வர நொந்த என் மனம் ஓர்வரம் கேட்குமே அழுகையார் துடிக்கின்ற வெண் வாயுதல் அப்பனே உலகோர் படும் துன்பங்கள் மெழுகினாயவென் உள்ளம் உருகுதே, வேண்டினேன் இதை நீக்கிடும் என்றேன். தெருவிலே புழுத்திடும் மேனியான், தேடுவார் இல்லை ஓரம் கிடக்கின்றான். உருகுதே எனதுள்ளம் அவன் குரல், ஊ ஊ என்று கதறிடும் போதினில். பஞ்சத்தாற் குழியான வயிற்றுடன் பாலர் சின்ன கரங்களை நீட்டியே, கஞ்சிக்காக கதறுகின்றார் என்றன் கண்ணின் நீர்நிறை வாகை வழியுதே. நோயினால் படுவார் துயர் எத்தனை, நொந்த கூக்குரல் எத்தனை எத்தனை, பாயிலே துடிக்கும் குரல் எத்தனை, பாவியன் இதை பார்க்கவும் நேர்ந்ததே. எந்தையே உம்மை வேண்டுவதொன்றுளது, ஈது நல்கும் என அடி வீழ்ந்தேன். அந்த வேளையில் அண்ணல் முகத்திலே அங்கு தோன்றியதோரிளம் புன்னகை. வேனிற்கால புதுத்தளிர் வேந்திட வீழ்கின்ற சருகினை காணுதி, காணல் முல்லை மலர்வதன் முன்னரே காய்ந்து விழும் மலர்குவை எத்தனை. தந்த நோயும் இடும்பையும் இன்னலும் தன்னருள் வெள்ளத்தால் எனக் காணுதி, வெந்த பொன்னை சுடுவதெல்லாம் அது மேலும் மேலும் ஒளிந்திட வல்லவோ. சாவும் எனதருளால் வந்த இன்பமே, தாங்களாது தவிக்கின்ற மக்களை நோவு நீக்கி புதுக்கிச் செதுக்கியே, நுண்மை செய்யுமென் தன்னருள் காணுதி. ஆதலால் மகனே வருந்தாதிரு, அன்னைய யாவுமென் என்னருள் ஆகமால், காதலால் என்றன் மக்களை காத்திடும் கருணை வெள்ள கடலினை காண்கிலாய். Thank you. This is my translation. God's answer. I worship your golden feet with flowers. I bow to the ground and look at your lotus-like face. With tearful eyes, my wounded heart begs a boon. My lips trembling with sobs say, my Father, my heart melts like wax at the suffering of this world. I pray you remove it. By the road with infested wounds lies a man who has no one. My heart melts at the sound of him crying, ooh, ooh, in pain. With bodies shrunk by famine, children stretch out their tiny hands and beg for food, and my eyes turn into lakes of tears. How many suffer from illness? How many call out in pain? How many are the cries of the bedridden? Unfortunate am I that I see all this. One wish, my Lord, I pray you. Grant it, I said, and fell prostrate. Then on my Lord's face there bloomed a gentle smile. See all the dead leaves that fall for the fresh shoots of spring. See all the flowers that fade and fall before the fresh bloom in the forest. These diseases, aches, and troubles, behold, come from the torrent of my grace. The burnt gold is put in fire, that its light may shine brighter still. Death too is a joy come from my grace. For those who suffer the unbearable, you will see my grace remove pain and carve them anew. So, my son, do not sorrow. All are shades of my blessing. Behold the boundless ocean of mercy by which I cherish my people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumi. I was going to read in English, but I will read a poem in Urdu, which is not mine. I wouldn't dare to read an Urdu poem in presence of our guest poet, Basir Kazmi. I wouldn't just dare to do that. So I'm going to read a poem by an Urdu poet. I think there are a lot of people in this room who understand Urdu, so I thought it would be nice to read something in Urdu. I'm from a city called Lucknow, and I wouldn't be here if not for my city, which I always say. So this poem is by Noon Meem Rashid, a Pakistani poet, and Noon Meem Rashid was one of the prominent poets in modern Urdu poetry. So I'll read this. I can't give you the translation, I don't have it, but you can take it from me later. I have translated this poem. Zindagi se darte ho, Noon Meem Rashid. Zindagi se darte ho, zindagi to tum bhi ho, zindagi to hum bhi hain. Aadmi se darte ho, aadmi to tum bhi ho, aadmi to hum bhi hain. Aadmi zaba bhi hai, aadmi bayan bhi hai, usse tum nahi darte. हर्फ और मानी के रिश्ता है आहन से आदमी है वाबस्ता, आदमी के दामन से जिंदगी है वाबस्ता, उससे तुम नहीं डरते. अनकही से डरते हो, you're scared of unsaid. अनकही से डरते हो, जो अभी नहीं आई उस घड़ी से डरते हो, उस घड़ी की आमद की आगही से डरते हो. पहले भी तो गुजरे हैं. अनकही से डरते हो, जो अभी नहीं आई उस घड़ी से डरते हो, उस घड़ी की आमद की आगही से डरते हो. पहले भी तो गुजरे हैं दौर नारसाई के, बेरिया खुदाई के, फिर भी ये समझते हो हेज आरज़ूमंदी, ये शबे ज़बाबंदी है रहे खुदाबंदी. तुम मगर ये क्या जानो लब अगर नहीं हिलते, हाथ जाग उठते हैं. हाथ जाग उठते हैं राह का निशां बनकर, नूर की ज़बा बनकर, हाथ बोल उठते हैं सुबह की अज़ां बनकर. रोशनी से डरते हो, रोशनी तो तुम भी हो, रोशनी तो हम भी हैं. शहर की फसीलों पर देव का जो साया था चाक हो गया आखिर. रात का लबादा भी खाक हो गया आखिर, पाक हो गया आखिर. इस दहा में इंसान से फ़र्द की नवा आई, ज़ात की सदा आई. राह शौक़ में जैसे रारों का खून लपके, एक नया जुनून लपके. आदमी छलक उठे, आदमी हंसे देखो, शहर फिर बसे देखो. तुम अभी से डरते हो, हाँ अभी तो तुम भी हो, हाँ अभी तो हम भी हैं. तुम अभी से डरते हो. Okay, I'll just do one more by, I had three ghazals in English, and because Basir Sahab would be reading ghazals towards the end, so just a little note on ghazals. Ghazals is a poem from 5th century Arabic world, where the poem is in couplets. Three things that you should know about a ghazal. Ghazal doesn't have a title, ghazal doesn't have a theme, and each couplet is an independent entity in itself. I hope I'm saying the right things. So I'm going to read a ghazal in English. English, writing ghazals in English has been a very old tradition, it's nothing new. Agha Shahid Ali, the Kashmiri American poet, wrote many of those in English, and without him, we wouldn't be writing so much in English ghazal. So this ghazal is a variation of a ghazal in Urdu by Ahmad Faraz, Ranjish Hisai. I've written my version of it. Axe my heart, if you will, to return, to not remember still to return, to keep my faith as a tenant still, let go of this burning bill to return. Even a word is a violation to me. All pages protest until you return. and a bed to get up from, an effective pill to return. Cass with a memory bowl begs, but the cup had to spill to return. Anything works, kill, sue, return. Not even a trace, say not even a hint of respite, a tradition too ill to return. Enough gossip for the visitors tonight. Winter air has tested my skill to return. A dilkash vein trembles in the eye. Come now, death, a dilju return. Moon clears the night sieve. Needlework, a see-through return. And I'm going to finish with 2 couplets, then I'll introduce our open mic, which is very important, so pay attention. Open mic, we have, I think, 5 or 6 poets, and I hope that you will keep it short, but I have been told to tell you that you have to keep it short. Not because we don't have time, but because everything goes with time, so that's why. So if you can keep it to 1 poem, that would be nice. A short introduction, your name is enough. Because I will introduce you, so you know, you can just read your poem. But yeah, I'll just read 2 more couplets of a ghazal because Martin at the back loves this one, so I'm going to read this. But the void comes at me more profoundly in Urdu. Angels have left for God, only I am around me in Urdu. There is that mind which speaks to you in civil. There is that heart. No, I do not agree in Urdu. Brilliant. So we have Rumana first off for the open mic. Rumana, are you here? Oh, brilliant. Everybody, please clap, clap. Yes.
I know I have to keep it short, but I feel a bit bad that I've just arrived. My trains were delayed. But I'm Romana. This poem is just about, I think, an experience that a lot of South Asian women face, especially when it comes to religion. My poem is called Heaven Smeared. Women, refractions of heaven itself, created in reflection of his beauty divine. You grip their throats, squeezing for drops of honey, crack their skulls in hope of rivers of sweet milk, reap their fruit, but souls are hard to pluck things. Imprisoned in politeness, adorned in silence, maimed in modesty, a headliner tragedy, silenced with sabr, a martyred mother. Shaitan kisses his teeth, watching your obscenity. You can't help yourselves, contorting molded clay. You attempt to make it stay. Keep bending the crooked rib until heaven smeared, blood spilt. No, go on, help yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Romana. Oh God, that was gorgeous, and thank you. You have a beautiful voice. Please do more readings. Devjani just said you do. So just a bit about Mushaira. Mushaira is an Urdu sort of, well, not Urdu, but Indo-Pakistani poetry reading, like a gathering. And back at home, we have it in fields. And so you have like hundreds of people listening until 5 a.m. in the morning, without alcohol, that is. We're in England, so nothing goes without it, more or less. So it's important that I mention this detail. So that's how passionate a Mushaira is, or those readings are. Generally, why we are doing this open mic before is the senior or the guest poets read after the open mic, and that's the style. So we'll have our poets towards the end. I mean, we'll have Shash and Devjani, and then we'll have Basir. Next up for the open mic, we have Chanjay, who is a brilliant person I just met recently, and I'm glad to introduce Chanjay. Chanjay.
So this, the topic was around inspiring women, and I've got a poem called Immortal Heroine. For millennia, stars have guided us through space and time. Yet now, when we look up, we can't see the stars. 99% of the populations of the United States and Europe cannot see the Milky Way because of light pollution. Humans, look up. Light pollution from our own planet has the ability to blot out the vast majority of the night sky. We live in an utterly magnificent universe, yet we don't feel connected to the cosmos. Imagine your kids never knowing the night sky or thinking it's just a handful of stars, never fully experiencing the grandeur of our galaxy. A multiplicity of generations lost to the magic and darkness of starlight, never to enjoy darkness, all the mysteries and stories it holds. Light pollution obliterates the stars. Because one sky connects us all, we lose our connection to the skies and each other. Seize the night. Carp nocturne. Seize the night. Carp nocturne. Women's bodies are constellations of desire, as luminescent as any starry night. In the digital age, the light pollution of pornography, commodification, exploitation, degradation, and dehumanization, we can't see our majesty. Reclaim the night. Seize the night. Reclaim the night. Carp nocturne. Woman as homewrecker. Woman as doormat. Woman as dominator. Woman as battle axe. Woman as iron lady. Woman as slut. Woman as temptress. Woman as frigid. Woman as the fall of man. Woman as femme fatale, as siren. Woman as eye candy. Woman as crone. Woman as hag. Woman as fantasy. Woman as spinster. Cis woman as ball breaker. Trans woman as object. All this is not even anywhere close to who any of us really are. Woman as nebula. Woman as galaxy. Woman as a gravitational pull collapsing into stars. Woman as luminosity. Galactic limbs spiraling in majesty. Woman as neutrinos. Woman as aurora. Woman as constellation. Woman as universe manifested and becoming self-aware. Woman as an entrance to paradise, the beauty of this world. Thank you.
Woo! God, that was... okay, so that's our first half of the open mic. We'll have our first guest poet now, and Anjum will introduce them. Thank you.
Wasn't that amazing? Thank you, guys. So it's with great pleasure. I've got the great pleasure to introduce Sash Trivett, who is a poet, critic, and a translator of Tamil poetry into English. She was born in Jaffna, northern Sri Lanka, and she escaped the civil war, and now lives in UK. She writes about war and the effects of war on civilian lives. Her poetry has been curated by the Poetry Archive, and she's a winner of the Northern Writers Award. Her poetry collection, The Naming of Names, was shortlisted for the Derek Walcott Prize 2025 and longlisted for the Michael Murphy Prize. Out of Sri Lanka, Tamil, Sinhala and English poetry from Sri Lanka and its diasporas, which is published by Blood Axe, which she co-edited with Vidyan Ravin, sorry if I can't say this name, Ravindran and Seni Viratna, was one of the Times Literary Supplements books of the year for 2023. Sash is also a mentor for New Writing North and the National Centre for Writing in the UK, and for Singapore Book Council. She's also a Ledbury critic reviewing for the Poetry Book Society and a trustee of Modern Poetry in Translation. Welcome, Sash. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm short. Thank you, Anjum, for inviting me, and it's such a pleasure to read with Debjani and Basir, and obviously to follow the wonderful poets who've gone before me. Your work's been fantastic. Can you hear me all right? Yeah, okay. So I come from a different cultural background to the north. So I'm from the south, Sri Lanka, but also Tamil Nadu. So it's a Dravidian language, it's completely different to Urdu. And Sumi is as well part of that heritage. So I sort of feel like I'm diversifying this room a bit. I also write about war. I write about women's bodies, their lives, the effects of war on them. So, yeah, this is all quite war-based poetry, I'm sorry, but, that's what I do. Right. Bitter waters. See these lines on my upturned palm. They are the rivers of death that have washed my land, flowing first in trickles, then streams, then in torrents. They are the swell of voices that have cried out our pain. They lie etched on my skin, coursing through creases and ridges to pool into stories and names. I shall tell of these. I shall tell of these for generations to come. See these hands all twisted and bent. These are the scars I bear instead of children. O motherland, don't look to me for your warrior. So, obviously women experience war in multiple ways, and one of the longest running protest in the whole world is taking place in Sri Lanka and has been since 2009. A group of mothers, grandmothers, wives, sisters protesting about the disappeared fathers, brothers, husbands, sons. They are there every single day holding placards, wanting their loved ones to be returned to them by the Sri Lankan state. So this is a poem about a mother mourning the disappearance of her son. It's called Muttumai Kolam, which in Tamil means patterns of old age. Kolam is Rangoli, that happens in the north, but it's, dots and swirls, patterns drawn in front of houses. The dots are called pulleys, the strokes are called sikkus, they occur in the poem. Feet planted in perfect balance, she bends each morning, deftly dotting the floor. Each pulley a prayer, each sikku a curving embrace. The fish, birds and flowers, her suns, moons and stars, her patterned privations flow through from the outside in, a propitiation, so that he might not disappear into the darkness, so that her lips might call him forth from the unknown. Each curve and syllable of his name, a proclamation of his absence. For months she has performed these Muttumai Kolams for him, while somewhere he washes her feet daily with his tears. Thank you. So this is, in my book, I've got a section about migration and women moving. Again, it's a wartime experience of migration. 3 friends set out one day. The one going south arrived first, having crossed imaginary borders made real by checkpoints and gun turrets. The one who went east got lost in a forest where she was rescued by an ambush of passing tigers. Not long after, she was photographed by trophy hunters, having died making their wishes come true. The one who journeyed west didn't arrive until the days turned into months and months into seasons. In a land of snow and ice, her face grew dark, losing the light she had borrowed from the moon back home. I don't think I'm going to read the next one. I'm going to leave that one. This is actually, it's really nice to be here to read this next poem because it's about the Tulsi plant. And when I have to read it in a sort of English setting, I have to explain about the plant and the significance of it. So I don't have to do that here. So, and you'll see a bit of the mythology around the Tulsi figure coming into the poem as well. Her name was Tulsi. When she was born, her parents named her Tulsi after the plant. She was their threshold between heaven and earth. When she was shot, they made a paste of Tulsi leaves and tried to knit together her body, to tether her spirit to themselves. When she died, Ganga reclaimed her, scattered her essence among the leaves and roots of their Tulsi plant. Her name was Tulsi, the keystone of their hearth. Excuse me. This book's all about the names of people who died in the Civil War. I don't know their stories, but I went through reports and compiled thousands of names, and I've just made poems around them. I've done lists of names, and I've translated them into English, just the names, because they're beautiful. And also the sense of loss of when a person dies and a name becomes made redundant. We're losing not just a body or a loved one, but a sense of generations that could have followed. So, So this is one of the named poems, which I sort of have to read. It's not particularly women-centered, but these were their names. What does it feel like to sound these half-used names of half-lived lives? Arul Lam Palam, a golden blessing. Arul Muganathan, a man with a wondrous face. Arunachalam, a hill of intense fire. Asokan was to live a life without sorrow. Bhavani was to be a giver of life. Gita carried the music of the gods in her hair, and so did Ragini. Yasoda was a gift from God. Kavita, a poem. Piriyalini was a woman in love. Nesadurai, a man filled with love. Chini Thambi was a little boy made of sugar. Sivaratnam, a child of light. So many names bound by 1,000 soft blessings. So many names turned to dust and ash. Balasundaram was a beautiful child. Darshini, a beautiful offering. Tyagarajan was one who sacrificed himself for others. Yogendran was the one who chose to serve. And Chellaya, Kumada, Kunjithambi, darling boy, Manoharan, Rasamohan, Tilageswari were the names of the beloved, the cherished ones, the burning invocations of life. Thank you. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I do read this one in every reading. Yeah, no, thank you. I also write about other war situations, and I've written this poem about the comfort women in Korea who were used by the Japanese soldiers during the Second World War. So the Korean people put up a statue of peace called Sanyasang in Seoul, and the Japanese embassy were upset by this and requested that they remove it. And the Korean people didn't, thankfully. And every summer, this statue is draped with flowers and fruit, and every winter they put coats on her and scarves, and it's amazing. So this is about remembering women who have suffered during war. Sonia Sang, Statue of Peace. She sits in a square in Seoul, wordless, hands clenched, staring I'll start again. Hands clenched, staring steadfastly at the Japanese embassy. She is whom the Japanese had called female ammunition, units of war supplies, public toilets. Immovable in snow, wind, or sun, she cradles 1,000 wounds, 1,000 tears, 1,000 scars. Her voice, an unending reproach, is carried by the wind past street corners, paddy fields, and pine forests. A bird on her shoulder connects those who gaze on her to those who have escaped to the sky, while behind her gaze, the shadows of those who have grown old invisible, lengthen in the sun. So this is my penultimate one. This is about how women are just forgotten when patriarchy gets a hold of things. I was Naama. I was known by many names and now by none. I was Naama, the pleasant one, mother to all creation. The hourglass gathered pace in my shadow. I was Emzara, Betanos, Barthanon. Wheat and millet swayed to my song. Around my feet grew common reed, papyrus sedge, and bulrushes. I was Hakel in Arabic. Through my mouth, sun rose flowers, blue pimpernel, and yaknuk spoke a language of their own. Cumin and chamomile formed my veil. In Georgian, I was Ta'aja, a temple. Bitter herbs formed my seat. Out of my left arm grew olive trees, cypress and cedar of Lebanon. Red bush, date palms, and myrrh out of my right. I was Nemzar in Armenian. I knew every lace wing of every petal, every wrinkled bark, each sharp thorn. I twirled every leaf in dewdrops and hid a covenant into each round kernel. I was Emzara, Noyemza, Noria to the Gnostics. The Babylonians called me Taitia. I was the sunrise of creation, the moon glow of eternity. In the book of Jasher, I was Naama, the pleasant one. Now I am known only as the wife of Noah. So, I loved writing that poem. It was just, how did we lose this woman through time? I'm going to end with this poem. It's not by me, although I've translated it from Tamil. I had the immense honor and privilege to run poetry workshops for a group of survivors of the Sri Lankan Civil War, women, during lockdown, and then we carried on. So in all, about 18 months, we met weekly. We wrote poems, we laughed, we cried. These amazing women who are not poets, but feel poetry run through them because South Asians and songs, you know, we've got it, haven't we? We have got it running through us. So we did a composite poem on what they thought hope was. And I've just taken lines from each of them and put them together, and then I've translated into English. So this is their view of hope. Moonlit hope. Hope is a life lived among flowers, even though not all contain nectar. Hope is the sound of anklets on moonlit paths, even though some remain in darkness. Hope is the song of a happy mind, the smiling face of gentle speech. Hope is today's joy stamping on tomorrow's sorrow. Hope is sharing the laughter of others while searching for happiness in your dreams. Hope is the lotus blooming at the touch of moonlight, fish leaping in play in ponds. Hope is the sight of a sleeping river and the sound of nature's quiet laughter. Hope is blemish-free, shining like the full moon or a mother's face. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sorry. I'm being organized. Thank you. Thank you, Sumi. That was so moving, wasn't it, guys? From tears to joy to hope. Oh, my God. The thing about the names and how, oh, my God, it's unbelievable. It's stunning listening to you. A huge wah-wah. Shall we do a big wah-wah first time? Wah, 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 wah. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll have a very quick break if you need a comfort break, just literally 5 minutes. We decide to do the Mushaira style, a longer break at the end where there's food and everything. So if you can be back in your seats within 5 minutes, please. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Thank you. just waiting for a couple of people. Is there anybody, was there somebody who didn't like photos taken? Can I take a photo of all the audience? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Can you go wah wah? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I missed you, Debjani. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Right, where's Abhijit? Come on down, Abhijit. You're on. So we're going to do the second half of the open mic, yeah? Thank you.
Brilliant. How are we feeling? Okay? Somewhat? Fabulous. Thank you, Mahira. Thank you. Thank you. God, this is the energy I want in the room. What's happening with you all? Yeah, give me, woo! Give me hey! Give me ho! Thank you. Thank you. See, this gets me going because I'm as nervous as you are. You might not know this, but, trust me, it's my blood. I know it. I know when it's jumping. Okay. We are going to do the second half. We have 2 poets who are going to come and read for us. So keep the spirits up, and then we'll have 2 of our guest poets who will read for us. Thank you for coming today. It's been a pleasure to be hosting you. Before I invite them, I'll read 2 couplets by a Urdu poet called Iftikhar Arif. Mayane arsae mauto hayat raqs mein hai, akela main hi nahi puri kainat raqs mein hai. The distance between life and death is in a dance. Not me alone, but entire universe is in a dance. Majal kiski ke jumbish kare raza ke baghair. Who is to dare to make a movement without its permission? Jo bhi raqs mein hai, ijazat ke saath raqs mein hai. Whoever is in dance with permission. So we're all in one big dance of life. And with that emotion, I'm inviting the next poet, Kamran Sajid.
That was a beautiful poem, Abhijit. I just felt like saying that. Okay, I'm going to read my 2 poems. I'm going to read my 1 poem right now. Okay. Okay, so it's just a toss-up between these 2 poems now. Would you guys like this? So one poem is a love poem. The other one is more of a sad poem. So let me know which one. So the people that want a love poem, just say Vava. Vava. The people that want a sad poem, that's a, yeah, love poem. Because if you want a sad poem, you'd be like Vava, Vava. But you wouldn't say it very, with a lot of enthusiasm. So I'll read a love poem. I think I know this one. My heart dipped, askance, glance, roller coaster, latent, clash, supernovae. I can't wait for it. Her eyes like chocolate dipped almonds. Our shared blinks like jigsaw complete. If this star crossing shoots fireworks from our ribs, which corner of the sky will be safe for us to meet? Jolted by the truth in our eyes and the falsehood of our silence. The falsehood of our silence. A vast expanse for invention. I'm orbiting the earth with my palm and scalp, counting the days I've known you, wondering if I'll have to mourn the tragedy of a planet made static by forget. Thank you.
That's because I'm short. just if you didn't notice. Thank you, Kamran, for that beautiful reading. Kamran is a dear friend, and he is always here. So thanks to you, special thanks. That is if you come regularly to these events, so show up more. All right, we are going to invite one more poet, and then we have these amazing ladies who have come down from Rochdale, who will be reading together. So we will do this one poet, and then we'll have a group of 3 ladies who will read for you. Before that, I'll do one more couplet by Nasir Kazmi. Bazme sukhan bhi ho sukhan e garam ke liye, taus bolta ho to jangal hara bhi ho. So with that, Salma Khalid.
I have the same dilemma as Kamran. I have got 2 poems, but one is about mental health and women, and the other one is more recent, and it's about how I feel about being a woman and my journey, and I'm a psychotherapist by profession, and all the women I've met over time. So I think I'm going to go with that one. Yeah. So it was a hard decision to make, but so it's called I Am. I am today and every day an entity to be celebrated. I am strong, I am fierce, I am nurturing, I am life. Do not define me, please just stop. I can define myself. Do not define my beauty, or you beasts of the fashion industry and media. Do not confine my she-child to your images of fashion and beauty. I am beautiful in my every form, my ebony black face, my pale face, my scarred face with acid marks. My every face is a celebration of my beauty. Stop defining me through theology and spirituality, for God is not a man and God is not a woman. Do not define me through theology and spirituality, for God is not a man and God is not a woman. Do not load me with your interpretations of patriotic dogma. I can define myself through my Creator and find my place in the cosmos. I am here to be me. Do not define my character by how I choose to live. Stop telling me to cover up and show less. Stop telling me to cover less and show more. Burkini or bikini, a decision only I will make. Do not minimize my power. Do not hurt me. Do not rape me. Do not terrorize me. Do not kill my she-children. Do not try to hold me back, for I can fly to the moon and back. I am the womb that creates life. I am the breast that feeds life. I am the she-wolf that will go to any extent to protect my pack. I today embody every woman, from the Virgin Mary, Maryam, to the erotic diva, from mystical goddesses to missing girls. I embody the powerful, the powerless. I embody the woman, the she-child, and the she-spirit. I today and every day am an entity to be celebrated. I am strong, I am fierce, I am nurturing, I am life. Do not define me. Please stop. I can define myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Salma, for that amazing reading. Okay, my job is almost done, and I'll be taking a leave after this. You have been a lovely audience, so a big round of applause for yourself. Just a couple of announcements. Poetry Library is a haven of poetry in the north, in the south, wherever you are. And I don't think that I would have been able to survive the first world without this place right here. So please connect with us, and please meet Becky Swain, who is the director of Poetry Library, Martin, who is the events person, manager, and any of us will tell you more about the space. Second thing is that we have books of Deb Jani on the front desk. So if anybody wants to buy the books, please let Debjani, please let us know. Okay, we have three amazing ladies, as I said, who have come down from Rochdale. So, we need to welcome them with life. Atiya Malik, Shaista Nawaz, and Tahira Farzana. Big.
Hello, Manchester. I write a little poet is from the internet. Is no mine, so they have no title. But I give a title is dates मुलाकातें. Yeah. मैं कभी कहती हूँ तुम मेरे गले का हार हो जाओ. मैं कभी कहती हूँ कि तुम मेरे गले का हार हो जाओ. वहीं से लौट जाना जहाँ से बेजार हो जाओ. वहीं से लौट जाना जहाँ तुम बेजार हो जाओ. मुलाकातों में वक्फा इसलिए होना ज़रूरी है. मुलाकातों में वक्फा इसलिए होना ज़रूरी है कि तुम एक दिन जुदाई के लिए तैयार हो जाओ. बहुत जल्द समझ में आने लगते हो ज़माने को. बहुत जल्द समझ में आने लगते हो ज़माने को. बहुत आसान हो थोड़े बहुत दुश्वार हो जाओ. बला की धूप से आई हूँ मेरा हाल तो पूछो. बला की धूप से आई हूँ मेरा हाल तो पूछो. बस अब ऐसा करो तुम साए दीवार हो जाओ. थैंक यू.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to read a poet. It's a poetry about from Allama Iqbal, who is the national poet from Pakistan. So, मोहब्बत की तमन्ना है तो फिर वो वुस्त पैदा कर. जहाँ से इश्क चाहता है वहाँ तक नाम पैदा कर. अगर सच्चा है मेरे इश्क में तो ए बनी आदम निगाहे इश्क पैदा कर. हुस्ने ज़र्फ़ पैदा कर. मैं तुझको तुझसे ज़्यादा और सबसे ज़्यादा चाहूँगा. मगर शर्त ये है कि अपने आप में मेरी जुस्तजू पैदा कर. अगर ना बोलूं तेरी खातर हर चीज़ को तो कहना. तो अपने आप में पहले अंदाज़े वफ़ा तो पैदा कर. Yeah, thank you.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम हाज़रीन मस्जिद. मैं छोटी सी एक पोइम सुनाने लगी हूँ. दुख देकर सवाल करते हो. दुख देकर सवाल करते हो. तुम भी गालिब कमाल करते हो. देख कर पूछ लेते हो कभी कभी हाल मेरा. चलो कुछ तो ख्याल करते हो. दिल में उदासियाँ कैसी ये भी मुझसे सवाल करते हो. मरना चाहें भी तो नहीं मर सकते. तुम भी जीना मुहाल करते हो. अब किस किस की मिसाल दूं तुम्हें. हर सितम बेमिसाल करते हो.
Thank you, everybody.
Shukriya ji, Bano. These are my favorite ladies from Rochdale. I've been visiting Deeplish Community Centre 25 saal ho gaya kam se kam. 25 years, maybe more, maybe 30 years. I arrived in Manchester and I started going to Deeplish, working with these ladies, and I'm still going there all the time. And they always come when I invite them to come to the university and to the library. So it's always a joy. Okay, so I think I'm going to read you one other poem. And is it possible? I don't know why this is not working. Oh, is this how it's supposed to be? Sorry. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm going to read you a poem which is in the same book as my mom. It's almost next to her. But there's a double reason for it, because this is one of the earliest poems I wrote. And Basir, who's going to be on in a minute, Basir Sahib, was running a workshop when I was not really a writer. And I went and I read this poem and another one. And some of the people attending, South Asian, Pakistani the na hamare bhai, they objected to my style of poetry and sort of said things to discourage me. But Basir Sahib told me to not stop, which really meant a lot to me as a young new poet. So this poem I'm going to read you, it came in Urdu and then it came in English. So I'll read it to you without explaining in Urdu first, but you'll see what it is when I read the English. So this is called Kashish Ki Door. जी चाहता है बस आंखों ही आंखों से पी लूं तुझे, होंठ पर होंठ रख कर चुरा लूं तुझे, दिल में अपने सजा लूं तुझे. शुक्रिया जी. ये दिलकश कशिश, ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता तेरी तरफ खिंचावट है, ये एक डोर जो धीरे धीरे खुल रही है, ढील इसको मिल रही है. जी चाहता है तेरी आंखों में डूब जाऊं, तेरी हर ख्वाब की ताबीर बन जाऊं, तेरे हर ख्याल की हकीकत बन जाऊं. ये शुक्रिया जी. ये दिलकश कशिश, ये खुलना इस डोर का आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. चले आओ मेरी तरफ अपनी नजरों को बिछाते हुए, बढ़ाओ ये अपने हाथ, ये अपने बाजू, ये अपना जिस्म मेरी तरफ, और मैं बढ़ूंगी तेरी तरफ बेताब आहिस्तगी से. मैं बढ़ूंगी तेरी तरफ बेताब आहिस्तगी से, अपनी नजरों को उठाते हुए, अपने आंचल को गिराते हुए, आंखों में बिजलियां चमकाते हुए. फिर मिलेंगे हम तुम जैसे थे तुम हम और हम तुम. जी चाहता है बस आंखों ही आंखों से पी लूं तुझे, होंठों पर होंठ रख कर चुरा लूं तुझे, दिल में अपने सजा लूं तुझे. ये दिलकश कशिश. शुक्रिया जी. Thank you. I'll read you the English. It's on my phone. So this, oh, sorry. I can't even remember my own code. The poem, just to explain a little bit, I was, oh my God, it's disappeared now. Sorry, I will get it up. Bear with me. I can't do both things at the same time. Oh God, this is so embarrassing. Okay, so this poem, I grew up on Urdu poetry, and my mum and dad were really keen poets, they loved poetry. My mum wrote poetry. They used to send each other love letters. Dad worked in Saudi Arabia just before, around the time they got married. And he used to send poems he copied, but not copied, but he loved, admired. Mum used to write the poems, and I have them all. I have all those letters in a little bag in my house, which they used to send to each other. But I didn't like the way women sat around waiting, in those love poems, with their eyes lowered, with their hands in their, lap. And so I love the poetry. I love our tradition of poetry. But and this is, you might see now why this wonderful gentleman was objecting. So this is called Pull of Attraction. My heart wants just to look you in the eyes and drink you in. Lips upon lips, and I steal you away into my heart, and there you stay. This delicious attraction. This slow, slow pull towards you, these strings are opening gently, gently, uncovering, loosening. Where are the wawas? My heart wants to drown in your eyes, be the meaning of your dreams, the reality of your thoughts, this delicious attraction. Shukriya ji. This loosening of the string, slowly, slowly. Come, step towards me, looking me in the eye. Extend your hands, your arms, your body towards me. And I will step towards you with languish haste, my eyes beckoning, inviting, my dupatta slipping, sliding. Lightning gleaming, sparkling in my eyes, and then we will meet, you and I, as if you were I and I you. My heart wants to drown in your eyes, be the meaning of your dreams, the reality of your thoughts, this delicious attraction. Thank you. So thank you so much, thank you. That to me is a feminist poem. That is all about taking power. But people could just see, they were just looking at it, that it was sexy and flirty. And I know that I do know people who've used that poem to seduce people into marriage and relationships. So I can give you a copy if you need one. You can have it. But just let me know how you get on. I know one librarian who got married to the person she seduced with that poem. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. So we are back to our wonderful poets. So it takes a big, huge pleasure. I'm tripping over my words now, to invite Basir Sultan Kazmi to be on here. But let me just tell you about him. Apart from him encouraging me to, and all those years ago, and here I am still writing poetry, and I'm a poet. But Basir's 4 collections of poetry. He's done plays in English translations of poetry and plays have all been published. His collected work and selected works have been published both in Pakistan and India. His plays were performed at many northern theatres, and he won the Northwest Playwrights Workshops Award in 1992, which is probably when I met you. His poem, Taking Time, selected by Poems for Waiting Room Project, was displayed in UK hospitals and clinics. One of his couplets with English translation was carved in stone and installed at Mackenzie Square, Slough in UK. Basir has been awarded an MBE by the Queen for services to literature as a poet. His play, Bisat, was included in the A-level syllabus. Basir has recited his poetry in Britain, Pakistan, India, Europe, USA, Canada, the Middle East, all over the world. So it gives me great pleasure to invite Basir Kazmi, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjum. And first of all, I would like to thank MMU, Anjum, and Martin for organizing this event and inviting me and giving me an opportunity to talk to you and to recite my poetry and meet my poet friends. Right. We are celebrating women. So one of my poems will refer to my mother, one to my daughter, and one to anybody. The poem is so short that it will almost finish before it begins. So be alert. So I'll recite the Urdu text. बचपन जब तक मेरी माँ जिंदा थी मैं बच्चा था. That's it. मुकर्रर because it's so short. जब तक मेरी माँ जिंदा थी मैं बच्चा था. Childhood. As long as my mother was alive, I was a child. अपनी बेटी की 10वीं सालगिरह पर, on my daughter's 10th birthday. So first, the Urdu text. My dear Wajiha, this is her name. My dear Wajiha, I'm so pleased with you that I often think if before sending you to earth, sorry, I am reading the translation first, sorry, because it was sorry. मेरी अच्छी वजीहा, मैं तुझसे खुश हूँ इतना कि अक्सर सोचता हूँ अगर तुझको ज़मीन पर भेजने से पहले खालिक मुझसे कहता कि चुन ले इन हज़ारों लाखों बच्चों में से एक अपने लिए, तो मैं तुझे ही मुंतखब करता। मैं खुशकिस्मत हूँ कितना, दुआ गो हूँ सदा जीती रहे तू, और इतनी और ऐसी ही अच्छी, और सदा जीती रहे और ऐसी ही अच्छी रहे तू. So this could be, of course, from any parent to their daughter. So on my daughter's 10th birthday, my dear Vajiha, I'm so pleased with you that I often think if, before sending you to earth, the Creator had said to me, choose out of these thousands of children one for yourself, I would have selected you. How fortunate I am. May you live long and always be as good as you are. Thank you. Now, I write in Urdu and then I translate it into English in collaboration with my poet friends, Devjani and Simon Fletcher. So these poems were translated into English in collaboration with Simon. And I will recite a couple of ghazals that I have translated in collaboration with Devjani. Now, there's this very short, funny thing. The title is Company. There is no Urdu version. A man is known by the company he keeps. A woman by the company she keeps away. Sorry. Sorry. Right. Anjum has mentioned that couplet that was, it was an honor for me and a big surprise that it was carved in stone and installed in Slough. So I will just recite that couplet, the matla. Dil laga lete hain ahle dil, watan koi bhi ho. Dil laga lete hain ahle dil, watan koi bhi ho. Phool ko khilne se matlab hai, chaman koi bhi ho. Now, this is the matla, the first couplet of a ghazal, but I won't recite the ghazal, I will recite another ghazal. So this is, the translation is of the title, in Urdu and Persian, ghazals don't have titles. But we decided, in fact on Devjani's suggestion, that we should have titles to the translations so that the readers of English poetry, they can recognize it. So the title of the ghazal is The True-Hearted. The true-hearted can settle no matter which land. A flower wants to bloom wherever its garden. Now we can say wah wah, or we can say bahut khoob, which means well said. Bahut khoob. Kya kehne means wow. Kya kaha wo. How well you have said it. Kya kehne. And mukarrar. And sometimes the audience, they make fun of some poets and they just ask them to keep repeating and they don't realize that they are repeating. And there was an occasion when the very senior person who was presiding over the Mushaira, when audience said mukarrar, so he didn't know what was happening. And he said, what is this is going on? It was explained to him. Then he asked the audience, can't you listen once carefully? You are asking our poets, the guest poets, to repeat things. Anyway. So you mentioned, Anjum, the ghazal that I translated for the waiting rooms. So this is dedicated, of course, to all those who are waiting in different waiting rooms, hospitals. And I dedicate this ghazal to my wife, Faraza, because she is a dentist and she has patients who wait for her. So it is dedicated to your patients. Right. Zakhm tumhare bhar jayenge, थोड़ी देर लगेगी। जख्म तुम्हारे भर जाएंगे, थोड़ी देर लगेगी, बेसब्री से काम लिया तो और भी देर लगेगी। So some in Mushairas we repeat couplets so that they are registered. जख्म तुम्हारे भर जाएंगे, थोड़ी देर लगेगी, बेसब्री से काम लिया तो और भी देर लगेगी। यूं बेहाल न हो ऐ दिल, बस आते ही होंगे वो। यूं बेहाल न हो ऐ दिल, बस आते ही होंगे वो। कल भी देर लगी थी उनको, आज भी देर लगेगी। थैंक यू। सीख लिया है मैंने अपने आप से बातें करना। सीख लिया है मैंने अपने आप से बातें करना। फिक्र नहीं उनको आने में कितनी देर लगेगी। कौन रुके अब उसके दर पर, शाम हुई घर जाएं। कौन रुके अब उसके दर पर, शाम हुई घर जाएं। इतना जरूरी काम नहीं है जितनी देर लगेगी। और इतनी देर में कुछ के कुछ हो जाएंगे हालात। इतनी देर में कुछ के कुछ हो जाएंगे हालात। खत लिखने से खत मिलने तक जितनी देर लगेगी। और मार गुजीदा, मार इस स्नेक, मार गुजीदा सांप का काटा हुआ। मार गुजीदा कौन बचा है, बासिर शुक्र करो तुम। बच गए। वेल सेड। मार गुजीदा कौन बचा है, बासिर शुक्र करो तुम। ठीक भी हो जाओगे लेकिन खासी देर लगेगी। So the title, the translation of the title of the translation is Taking Time. Your open wound will heal, though it takes a little while, though it takes a little time. Impatience will inflame it for a much longer time. Don't be so restless, my heart. She is surely coming. She was late yesterday. Today too she will take her time. I have learned to hold long conversations with myself, so I don't care if her arrival now takes some time. Why linger at the door? Darkness falls. Let us go home. It is not so important that we spend so much time. Time passes between letter writing and its receipt, and much can happen as circumstances change with time. Who can survive a serpent's bite, Basir? Be thankful. You will recover, though it will take a longer time. Enough? Thank you. Enough? Thank you. If we have time. Now this is, we talk about how poetry comes into being, just an experience that we just discuss in workshops. We keep saying 9 to 5 job, 9 to 5, right? Night shifts, day shifts, so on. So I thought, of course we keep thinking and hearing this. So if we add traveling time to this 9 to 5, it can become 8 to 6 or whatever. And Debjani has translated it into Bangla as well. And in fact, the Bangla, you won't have it, I know, but just to mention, because the Bangla translation, in fact, it is so powerful because it's so musical. But anyway.
Because the two languages have so much
in common, yeah. Now, the title of the translation is From 8 to 5. So, but first, the Urdu version. कर लिया दिन में काम 8 से 5. कर लिया दिन में काम 8 से 5. अब चले दौरे जाम 8 से 5. चांद है और आसमान है साफ. चांद है और आसमान है साफ. रहिए बालाए बाम 8 से 5। शेर क्या शायरी के बारे में सोचना भी हराम 8 से 5। अब तो हम बन गए हैं एक मशीन, अब हमारा है नाम 8 से 5। वो मिले भी तो बस ये पूछेंगे, वो मिले भी तो बस ये पूछेंगे, कुछ मिला काम वाम 8 से 5। So the English translation: during the day we toiled from 8 to 5. Now let's go drinking from 8 to 5. The moon has risen and the sky is clear. So be on the balcony from 8 to 5. I am now transformed into a machine, bearing the label now from 8 to 5. Forget any talk of poetry. Just thinking of it is banned from 8 to 5. Even if I meet her, she will only ask, did you find any work? From 8 to 5.
Can we have a bigger, great, yeah, thank you so much. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. Shukriya ji bahut bahut. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I have a great, I remember, Debjani also I remember meeting as a brand new, maybe even just before being a poet, just as I was thinking about it. And I remember following you two around on this tour where some of the poems Basir Sahib has just read out. So it's a huge pleasure that they've decided to come and be at this Anjuman. And of course, Sash, we've not met before, but your poetry. So it gives me great pleasure to invite Debjani. I'm going to introduce you if I may. So Debjani is a writer, she's an editor, arts psychotherapist. She's also an RLF Associate Fellow and an Olympic torchbearer. Wow. She worked in the steel industry and the voluntary sector, taught in schools, universities, and the WEA, and served as Sheffield's Community Relations Director. Described as Britain's best-known Asian poet, I can vouch for that. Elizabeth Marino, is that the person who said that? Yeah. She was born in India and has also lived in Bangladesh, Japan, Hong Kong, and Egypt. Her residencies have included the Barbican Centre, Ilkley Literature Festival, and Sheffield Children's Hospital. She loves doing poetry commissions, storytelling, and running workshops. And her debut collection, I Was That Woman, was published in 1989. Her many books include Namaskar, New and Selected Poems, and Laughing with Angels. And she has award-winning anthologies, which include Redbeck Anthology of British South Asian Poetry. So please help me welcome Debjani Chatterjee. And she's also an MBE. Debjani.
Thank you, Anjum. So, namaskar, good evening. I think I'd like to start off really by congratulating Anjum and all the colleagues who have helped her in starting this new tradition here of Anjuman, because this is the first Mushaira of this kind, Anjuman, and it'll be a series that will carry on, I hope, for a long time to come. And yes, poetry lives forever. So let Anjuman be a growing success. I hope to keep coming back, perhaps in another 20 years. I don't know how old I'll be then, but, and I'll see that this room, that there are people lining up way beyond this room. Abhijit mentioned earlier that in the subcontinent, we sometimes get hundreds of people at Mushairas and Kavi Sammelans. And they're very happy to stay all night listening to poetry because we have poetry in our souls and we're very passionate about it. So I do translate from a few languages. My mother tongue is Bengali, but I write my own original poetry in English. But let me give you an example of something I translated. I am going to try to stick to the theme of this evening. And it's a theme that's very dear to my heart. As you can imagine, with my debut collection being called I Was That Woman. Okay, so this poem was written by a good friend of mine called Saffron Ara. Bileter Bangali Ramoni. Bileter khete khawa Bangali Ramoni. Nohe khin pran obola bongo nari. Chok ranganir bhoy nahi santrushto. Nohe she ghor bhanga attogati bhikarini. Bilete Bangali nari nohe samanno, protighat parajoy molin, nohe prostore gora pranhীন murti mukh shtobdo. Snayute tar chomok day, churui ar tiktikir shobdo. She nohe shudu maya jale ঘেরা সোনার হরিণ। ঘর থেকে বহু দূরে তবু সে নহে স্রোতে ভেসে আসা তৃণ। লেবু পাতার যে সুবাস, তেঁতুল গাছের পাতায় নাচত যে জ্যোৎস্না, আষাঢ় রাতের ঝিরঝির বাদলে ছিল যে সুরের মূর্ছনা। মাতাল করে তার ভাবনারে, ব্যাকুলতার মধুর স্মৃতি আজও হয়নি ক্ষীণ। বিলেতে বাঙালি নারী, বাসনারি দিয়ে ছুটি থাকে না মাথা করি নিচু। কাঙাল নহে সে ধুলয় গড়ায় না কারো পিছু। করুণা ভবে তাকিও না, সে নহে ভিকারিনী। বাঙালি নারী এক প্রভাতে জাগিয়া উড়িল মেলি দুরন্ত পাখনা। সে নহে সামান্য, কৃপায় চেয়েও না তাহার পানে। অপসরী রমণী নহে সে, ডেকো না তারে মদিরার টানে। সে নহে রহস্যময়ী দেবী, চাহে না সে কোনো অর্ঘ্য রচনা। So this was my translation. It's a very loose translation, but it was chosen by The Guardian when they were doing some kind of selection of poetry for National Poetry Day. A Bengali woman in Britain. A Bengali woman in Britain earns her bread. Her life is not confined by narrow limits. Hard looks can hold no threat for her. She is no homeless victim or beggar. A Bengali woman in Britain does not easily surrender. She is no still and silent statue. Nothing startles her, no sudden noise. She is no golden deer caught in a veil of illusion. Thank you. Though far from home, she is no straw adrift on the tide. The scent of lemon, moonlight dancing on tamarind leaves, music in the drizzling of monsoon nights grip her in nostalgia. Even today, such sweet memories have not dimmed. A Bengali woman in Britain has yearnings unfulfilled, but her head is unbowed. She is no wretch to crawl in anyone's dust. Do not view her with pity. She is no beggar. A Bengali woman in Britain arose one dawn and flew. She soared wild on wings. She is not insignificant. She needs no looks of sympathy. She is no angelic being, nor some drunkard slut. She is no mysterious goddess. She wants no worship. Thank you. I'll just add here, like our poet Shashi, Shash, like our poet Shash said, she's adding to the diversity. And I think I just did that. Safranara, my friend who wrote that powerful poem, is from Bangladesh. And I'm from Indian Bengal, but born in Delhi. So I do have some smattering of Hindi, which also gives me a little bit of access to the Urdu of friends like Basir. So my next poem is written in the voice of a child, of a little girl who's come home from school and she's had this horrible report given to her. I think teachers have to be really careful what they write and say because children are so impressionable and we need to encourage people. God knows we adults need encouraging as well. Letter to Grandma. Dear Grandma, it's young Emily. Today I got my school report. Mom and Dad are quite mad at me. So I'm writing for your support. They tell me they can't understand how someone in our family can turn out to be such a dunce. The teachers have said I'm lazy and that I lack all ambition. Mom and Dad are ashamed of me. I'm like a duckling among swans, rotting on our family tree. Granddad was a brilliant judge, and Mom and Dad are clever too. Every relative is so smart. But thank God that there's also you. You have not written any books, built bridges, managed companies, invented or discovered things. You only lived a life of ease. Having children, walking the dog, cooking, washing, sewing, giving care and comfort, making a home, having fun, just daily living. My idea of happiness is no news on television. I don't want to be the greatest. I'll enter no competition. I hope you're on my side, Grandma. I think it's time our family made room for another like you. Goodbye for now. Love, Emily. So this next poem is a clerihew. So a clerihew is uniquely British. We've spoken about ghazals before, and that's one of my favorite forms of poetry too. But I do love writing in many, many different forms of poetry. And the lovely thing about the clerihew is that along with the limerick and the englyn, it's one of the very few forms of poetry that we get that are native to this country. Because really almost all the other forms of poetry that poets in English write are borrowed forms from other countries. English poets are writing ghazals. English poets are writing sonnets. English poets are writing villanelles. They're all haiku, tanka, all borrowed from other countries. So here's a Clerihew, and it is about a remarkable woman who meant a lot, I think, to this country, especially its colonial past, and also to all the different countries in the world that were part of that colonial past. I know in my childhood, seeing her statues all over the place, and I have to say, though, I'm glad that so many years after Indian and Pakistani, for that matter, independence in 1947, I'm glad that after maybe, I don't know, another 50 years or later, people had the sense to remove those statues and not destroy them, because they're part of history, but they are now gracing our museums. So this Clerihew is called Victoria's Statues. It amused Queen Victoria to be Empress of India, although she never traveled there. She left her statues everywhere. Okay. So with this next poem, which I wrote, if you like, to celebrate a group of teenage women who had put together an exhibition of their clothes that they had made, clothes that they had adapted. And being British and Asian, you can imagine their clothes were a fusion. And I thought it was a lovely thing that they were doing. So I've called it More Than I Wear. And it's written for the young women in the Asian Women's Resource Association. And like the ghazal and many other poems for that matter, this poem has a refrain. So every time I say, sister, right now, could you all join in and say, I'm having a ball. I know I am this evening, because I love reading, whether it's my own poetry or other people's poetry, but I'm passionate about it. So let's try that. Sister, right now, I'm having a ball. Yes. A young woman, Asian and British, I have swallowed the world's rough oyster. Pearl and all, yes, pearl and all. I've had hard times and will face worse times. But my gear is sorted, and sister, right now, I'm having a ball. I move to indie pop and bhangra, dupatta flying from my shoulder, angel wings and waterfall. The world is my oyster, pearl and all. Sister, right now, I'm having a ball. Dadiji gave me this hand-stitched chunni. Her love flows through it like a river. And I float tall, I float tall. The world is my oyster, pearl and all. Sister, right now, I'm having a ball. I bought myself this denim jacket and embroidered a lotus flower. There's none like it in the mall. The world is my oyster, pearl and all. Sister, right now, I'm having a ball. My silk camise glows with gold sequins. My satin salwar mirrors the hour in Halifax and Bengal. The world is my oyster, pearl and all. Sister, right now I'm having a ball. My Doc Martens pack a feisty kick. I am from Bradford and Jalandhar, Mirpur, Punjab and Walsall. The world is my oyster, pearl and all. Sister, right now I'm having a ball. I'm more than I wear, Asian, British. My clothes are those that eye the future, with respect for tradition's power. Sari or jeans, I am the daughter of Manchester and Southall. The world is my oyster, pearl and all. Sister, right now I'm having a ball. Sister, right now I'm having a ball. Thank you. That's probably... Okay. Thank you for being a lovely audience, and many, many thanks to the Poetry Library and all the lovely people who run it for inviting us and for organizing this Mushaira. And thank you most of all to you, the audience, for coming and for appreciating and giving us all your wah-wahs and bahut khoobs. So thank you. Bahut khoob, Poetry Library.
Shall we do a big wah-wah and applause, please, for Debjani? Yeah, wah-wah. Thank you. I mean, Debjani has done all the thank yous. The only thing left is I want to say thank you to Sumi and Abhijit. They've been amazing. I can't see Abhijit anywhere, but I hope he can hear me. Is he gone? So I'm sorry we've run over a little bit, but yeah, I thank you to all of you. It's so wonderful to see you all. Some of you have come, from Greater Manchester, and our poets, amazing. Thank you, all of you. Debjani, Basir, Shash. Sorry? Some people have come straight from work. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think quite a few people might have come straight from work because it was 5:30. So I can see that the food has been served. So if you're all ready, thank you so much. And please grab yourself some food. And thank you.